Yes. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Nick Harkson here over on Touchdown Detroit Lions on Syndicate Sports Detroit. How's everybody doing on this Tuesday? I'm doing great. I'm doing good. Can't complain right now. I'm going to let some people get in here, and we'll get this episode going. But, yeah, it's good to be back here on a Tuesday. Excuse me. Last week, we had the tragedy happen at Michigan State. Once again, thoughts go out to the families and those affected by that tragedy. But that's why we were on Wednesday last week. Just wanted, to show respect to the families and the area and everything. But, yeah, we're back on Tuesdays now. This is normal. We're supposed to be on Tuesdays. Touchdown Detroit Lions is on Tuesday. Just think of that. Touchdown Tuesdays. Turn up Tuesdays. Anyways, yeah. Good to be back here with everybody. We don't have, a ton to talk about like normal, but we do have stuff to talk about. And I promise you in the next few weeks or, definitely the next coming months, there's going to be a lot to talk about. There's going to be a lot of big-time news, but we still have some things to talk about for sure today. If you guys want to start sounding off in the comments and give me some questions, we can do that. But yeah, I'll get to those questions, and we'll get to other subjects too. I see one right now. Is Clark contract voided? Is that Sharks? What you mean, John? What's up, pops? Yeah, we'll talk about that. That's actually news to me, so let me let me get to that real quick if you want to elaborate. But yeah, we got some things to talk about. Today is a big day for the NFL offseason. It's not a massive day, but it is an important day for the offseason for the NFL. Today is the first day that teams can go out there and place a franchise tag on a player, on an unrestricted free agent. And they have until March 6th to do so, because that's when free agency starts. Now, we do have a lot of unrestricted free agents, and one of those was Shark. His contract was voided, is what John just said right there. But it's, it's a way to spread the salary cap, and it might help us. But actually, it's not going to. He's going to cost us $6 million in dead cap. But yeah, we've got some unrestricted free agents, and with the franchise tag, we could franchise tag some people, but I personally don't think we need to, and here's why. We have in the past franchise tagged some people, but there's reasons for that, and this year there's reasons why we shouldn't. I listed my top 5 free agents who we should bring back a few weeks ago, or maybe, it was about a month or so ago. And I'll go over those guys again. These are my 5. We have Jamal Williams. Need to bring him back. Definitely. DJ Chark, would love to bring him back. Contract's been voided, as we know. And also, Ben Johnson said, he wants to make Jameson Williams a star in the NFL. He was quoted saying that. So I think Jameson Williams is going to play a much bigger role next year. So I'm not sure DJ Chark will come back. John Kaminsky, definitely bring the guy back. Isaiah Buggs, bring him back to the top of the map. And I'm talking about the top of the map because that's where we are, not the bottom. And Alex Anzalone, I would like to bring him back just as a leader and kind of a mentor to a linebacker that we hopefully draft. He knows the system. He can help another year, so I think he wants a multi-year deal. But once again, these are the 5 unrestricted free agents that I think are the top 5 unrestricted free agents for the Lions. And that is Jamal Williams, DJ Chark, Isaiah Buggs, John Kaminsky, and Alex Anzalone. Now, the reason why we should not franchise tag any of these guys is that the franchise tag costs much more than those players' current expiring deals. And this is what it would cost to franchise tag these guys. Of course, we don't need to franchise tag Goff. Or a running back. Jamal Williams. He would cost us $10 million to franchise tag him, and we could probably sign him for a multi-year deal for that much. Wide receiver, almost $20 million. Defensive tackle, almost $20 million. Defensive end, almost $20 million. Linebacker, $20 million. Almost $21 million. That's why I think we definitely can't and should not franchise tag any of these guys. It's a no-brainer to me. Just save the money and sign them to a regular deal, and I think it will benefit the franchise a lot more than putting the franchise tag on them. You can just see right here. It would just cost too much to do that, and not that any of them aren't worth it. I just think that we can work out a better deal, and I know that Jamal wants to come back, so he's willing to work it out. Once again, it is a business, so you never know. He might not come back if they lowball him. So please don't lowball him. But at the same time, he's got to understand, what it costs to be in this league too. No tags for the Lions. I like it. Yes. We will get into that Jalen Ramsey thing here in a second. But yeah, right now I was just watching NFL Network's on in the background, and I know I saw this already yesterday and a few days ago, but I just wanted to point this out because I'm seeing it right now. But the Hasmus power rankings are going across the bottom of the ticker tape news of NFL Network, and they have the Lions at number 9 to going into next season. Now, this really doesn't shock me right now because we were in the top 10 at the end of the season while the playoffs were going on, ahead of other teams that were in the playoffs, which is absolutely crazy to me, but it shows respect and it speaks a lot on this team and what we did at the end of the year. Very impressive. I just hope we can live up to the hype this year. We've always been good with being, this year at least, we've been good with being the underdogs and the spoilers at the end of the season. But we really need to learn to be great when we're expected to be great. Last year the media was all over us. The Lions are going to win out and make the playoffs. They were saying that the Carolina week, and look what happened. And, so we just got to learn to start winning when we're expected to win. I've said this before. But we're going into next year, well, at least right now, as number 9 in the power rankings, which is pretty crazy to me. But it's actually not at the same time because we did end off the season very strong. I just want to see us dominate next year when it's expected. But here we go. I'm getting into the Ramsey stuff right now. We saw it. Amon-Ra St. Brown has been publicly trying to recruit Jalen Ramsey, and Jalen Ramsey responded. Look at this right here. Amon-Ra St. Brown, this was on his podcast with his brother. He said, Jalen, if you can hear this, I know you played with Goff before. Detroit might seem like a landing spot, my guy. Talk to me. And then last night, Jalen Ramsey responded. He said, laugh out loud. Much love to Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Tried my hardest to get y'all in them playoffs this year, which he definitely did. He was out there balling out that game, had a few picks, and, it wasn't for lack of effort for him that the Rams lost. But anyways, I won't comment on my future, though. We shall see. To me, that's not a no that he's not coming, that he's coming to Detroit. But, who knows? I don't really know what that means. I think he's got to talk that way right now because he's still with the Rams. But before we get too far into this, before Jalen Ramsey even responded, there was a little loudmouth guy who's always, sparting off at the mouth on Twitter, a little cowgirl by the name of Micah Parsons. And this is what he had to say in response to Amon-Ra trying to recruit Jalen Ramsey. This was before Jalen Ramsey responded to Amon-Ra, and he said this. I'm sorry, no one going from L.A. to Detroit. Well, he said going from La to Detroit. He doesn't know how to put L.A. in capital letters to make it clear. Micah Parsons, I hate you. I used to have respect for you. I wanted us to draft you, but we got Penei Sewell, and I'm so glad that we did. I think it worked out much better if you're hearing this. And I think your butt hurt that we didn't draft you. And, I don't even know why he had to say anything like that. That's disrespectful to the organization and the city. And you really shouldn't be throwing shade out there because speaking of butt hurt, I heard that, there was some handsy situations in the Penn State locker room involving yourself. That's all I'm going to leave it at. I'm not going to go too much further with that. But, yeah, you shouldn't be out there talking crap on Twitter. We play you guys next year. I hope we use this as some locker room material. Micah Parsons, can't believe that, man. I just can't believe that you would come out and say this about Detroit. And obviously, people have come from L.A. to Detroit. It was against their will, but if you ask Jared Goff now, I think he would say he loves Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's from Anaheim, went to USC. I know he was drafted to the Lions, but if you asked him now, he would say he loves Detroit. Brad Holmes, he went from L.A. to Detroit. Brockers, I think, loves it in Detroit. We should cut him or maybe make him a coach. But I'm telling you, Micah Parsons, you got it all wrong. You don't know about this new culture. And we're going to get back into the regular subject of Jalen Ramsey. So we have, been in the highlights recently of being a real-time player to go out and get Jalen Ramsey. Now, do you guys want to see Jalen Ramsey in a Lions uniform? Me personally, there are talks that the Rams are going to drop him, release him from the team. And if that's the case, then yeah, go for it. Because I think that we're already going to be cutting people to free up some cap space and whatnot. And we're going to have a lot of money if that happens, if we cut the right people and enough of them. But I say let's make a splash this year. If he is a free agent this year, I say go for it. Just sign him to a 1 or 2 year deal. But I don't want to trade for him. I don't want to give up any draft capital. I don't want to trade any players. I don't want to trade Swift over there or anything like that. I don't think that's the way to go to acquire Jalen Ramsey. But if he is a free agent, I'm all for it. Just not trade. He is a great player. He would definitely come in and help this team immediately. As you saw that last game against Seattle, he was really the only guy out there who was being effective for the Rams. I mean, he almost single-handedly got us into the playoffs, but of course Baker Mayfield couldn't capitalize on any of the turnovers or anything like that. But yeah, I think I'm on board. I think I'm on board to bring him in, just not for a trade. I'm going to look into the comments. I see a few comments going on right now. But let's see what's going on. Okay. I know you said you will get into the Ramsey stuff later, but when do you should we trade for him if we do? And I just answered this. Sorry, JC King, I'm just now seeing that comment. No, I don't want us to trade for him at all. There's rumors going around that they're just going to drop him. They're going to release him because they're not seeing eye to eye. I don't know if enough people are offering what the Rams would want for him. So I would rather just go get him if they drop him. But if we do trade, I don't want to, but I don't want to trade away that 18 pick like a lot of people do. Maybe, a day 2 pick, but I just don't want to trade for Ramsey. Here we go. What if we trade back to 9, pick up another 2nd and 3rd, draft in the 1st, Witherspoon and Gonzalez, 2nd, Simpson, Campbell. That's 2 linebackers, nice, and a DT 3rd. Whoa, and a DT. Okay, and then 3rd, right guard and running back. I'm with that all day. We're going to get into some draft talk here very soon. I like that, though. I do like that fresh and fly. I haven't seen that scenario yet. We're going to talk mock draft here, right now. I'm going to look at a few more of your comments here. Grid said if he's a June 1st trade, we'll save $17 million, if I heard correctly. Okay. I'm not sure you're talking about there. Elaborate, please, and I will talk more about that. Should we get a QB in the draft, and if so, what pick? It's got to be later. It's got to be later if we're going QB in the draft. And you know what? Let's get into it. Let's get right into what I was about to talk about. And this is some draft news. There's been, the combine is a week away. The combine starts a week from today, which is exciting, folks. We finally got some exciting off-season things happening that we can talk about. And, of course, mock drafts are going to change all over the board after this combine and, leading up to it probably too. But here we go. This is the fun offseason stuff that we get to start getting into. And there's been a ton of mock drafts been happening over the week. I'm going to talk about two that I saw today and one that I saw a few days ago. The one that I saw today that happened just a few hours ago is from NFL.com's Daniel Jeremiah. Now, Daniel Jeremiah has us taking at number 6, edge out of Clemson, Myles Murphy. And then at number 18, quarterback from Florida, Anthony Richardson. I'm definitely not with that second pick. I'm sorry. I don't think we need to draft a quarterback that early. His ceiling is way up there, don't get me wrong. But it's just not necessary right now. We have other needs. Goff is performing great. He had, according to him, his best football year of his career last year. And we have a Pro Bowl quarterback on our team right now who knows how to run this system. We have his offensive coordinator coming back for the second year. Goff proves that he gets better with the same coordinator in a second year. He already proved that he got better in the Lions in general with the second year. No need to go quarterback at 18. I know the guy's a stud. I just don't want to see it that early. All right. That's just me, though. Now I'm going to get into Garrett Podell of CBS Sports. He also released his mock draft today, just a few hours ago. And he has us at 6, taking Devin Witherspoon, the cornerback out of Illinois, and Brian Bresee, the D lineman from Clemson, at 18. Now, I do not mind this one as much. But honestly, when I looked at his draft, you can go and find it. It's public. You don't need to pay to see it or anything. There was some other picks there that I would go. Myles Murphy was there at 6, and I would honestly probably take him. No disrespect to Devin Witherspoon. I think he's a great corner. But I think there's going to be one of these top-notch corners there with the second pick. So I think I'd kind of reverse it, go not Bresee at 6, but Myles Murphy at 6, and then a corner at 18. And I'm going to get into one more here, and this was from a few days ago. This is Ryan Wilson of CBS Sports. He also did a mock draft. This is another CBS one. But and this is the last mock draft that I'll talk about today from other guys. He has us at 6, taking Joey Porter Jr., cornerback out of Penn State. And at 18, taking Lucas Van Ness, D lineman out of Iowa. That's at 18. This is kind of like the last, mock draft here. I did see Myles Murphy there once again. I would kind of like to reverse it because just like I said, I really think there's going to be a top corner there at 18. At least I hope. I mean, there's enough there. I listed my top 5, and I think any one of those 5 would be good for us, would be a good fit. I think Keely Ringo will fall a little bit. Even Forbes might fall a little bit too. But I think we got to get a cornerback at 18. That's where I would rather go. The draft's gonna shake up. Maybe we don't have a choice there, and that's the best available pick is the corner, and especially after the combine. Who knows what happens? So I'm no draft guru, no draft expert, but I would personally like to see us go with a different position. D-line, edge, something there at 6. And then go with a corner at 18. Now, we did talk about trading back from 6. That's what I would prefer to do, personally. If we could go back, just 1 or 2 picks, that would be great. Excuse me, guys. But it's not guaranteed to happen, so we might have to pick at 6. But if we could acquire more picks, just like you said, I like that scenario. What you said there, Fresh and Fly, that's a really good picks right there. I like, I like Witherspoon a lot. Gonzalez is kind of, I like him too, but he's a different kind of corner, and to have both those style corners on our team, I think could benefit. We have Jerry Jacobs. Let's say we pick up Jalen Ramsey too. Now we're stacked because we got Jeff Okudah. Our depth is looking a lot better there, and if somebody gets hurt, it's not as much of a big deal. It's always a big deal when somebody gets hurt, but it's not going to be as much of a fall off if we do go there. I do like getting 2 corners in this draft, whether it be early on, whether it be one early, one in the middle of the pack. I do think we need to go 2 DBs in this draft. I'm going to head back over to the comments here, see what's up. Here we go. I'll answer that. Yeah, QB, I didn't like drafting the quarterback early on, which they did in one of these mock drafts. Some people like it. Some people still think that we need to go get a quarterback with our first pick. Not necessary. There's going to be guys who will be there later in the draft. I did see somebody analyze the quarterback from Houston, who I think is under the radar on a lot of people's draft boards, and his stats are just out of this world. He's a running quarterback, but he also passes for, I don't even know, he has like 40-some yard passing touchdowns this year. Go check him out. He's somebody that will definitely drop down the board that we could get in later rounds. All these top guys this year, there's some great quarterbacks there. I just don't think it's time to spend on the quarterback right now when we have other needs and Goff's running the offense just fine. Here we go. I know everyone thinks we should draft a quarterback this year due to the fact that we won't be in the top 10 in following drafts because we'll play better. But honestly, I don't like any of these QBs. I kind of just elaborated on that. I'm with you. The only one, there's a lot of people that are comparing Bryce Young to Patrick Mahomes, which is crazy because he hasn't even played a snap in the NFL yet. They just said that he's kind of got that mentality and fight. So no disrespect to him. Maybe he does, maybe he comes out and he is that. But I don't think he falls to us, and I definitely don't want to trade up to get him. So other than that, I don't want CJ Stroud. I don't want Levis, whatever his name is. And I definitely don't want the quarterback from Florida, even though he's got potential. I just don't see him, being a long-term quarterback in the NFL. I'm sorry. Hopefully he proves me wrong because, I like all these players to come out and have great careers. I don't wish anything negative on him. I just don't want to see him in a Lions uniform, and hopefully he doesn't turn out to be the next great thing because I said that. Here we go. Personally, I don't want another quarterback. I think Goff is him. Yes, he is him. He's proven the haters wrong, and I think Goff is I think he's gonna keep getting better in this system, especially this year with Ben Johnson there. I think he got a bad rep in LA. He had a bad year, and Sean McVay kind of put all the blame on him. And of course, he came to Detroit. He was looking horrendous his first year here, but he didn't have a lot to work with. And at the end of the season, they really got it going once he got his chemistry down with his wide receivers. It was a total rebuild year. Our roster was not good. As much as people wanted to believe that we had a great team and that we could have done it, our roster was not built for a quarterback to succeed yet. And it was a little better this year. It was a lot better this year on offense. Goff definitely proved that he can be a franchise quarterback, and personally, I hope that we do extend his contract for at least a couple years. Gives us some leeway. I think Goff can get it done here in Detroit with the way that we're going. And yes, I will say it right now. I'm talking Super Bowl. I think Goff can get us there, and I think that he can win it for us. Not just him. It's going to be a total team effort, but I do think Goff is that guy. I don't think he's the greatest quarterback ever. I don't think he's the best quarterback in the league. I don't even know if he's top 10. He's definitely stats-wise. But, I'm talking about athletic ability, all that stuff. But he just does what he needs to do. And he's solid. He keeps his mental state solid. He's not out there. He's not a head case. And he's a real leader out there for these guys. And the guys love him. So I'm all with you on Goff. That's what I got to say about that. One more thing. Here we go. I think Bryce Young is Kyler Murray 2.0. So that's a no for me. Yes. Yes. That would suck to be Kyler Murray 2.0. I hope for the guy that he's not. Just because, Kyler Murray, I think that he believes in himself more than anybody else does. He's not a bad quarterback. He's a good fantasy football quarterback, but I don't think he's ever going to win you a Super Bowl. He's too cocky and he's too needy. He's all about him. He wants this and he wants that. So, yeah, I don't want that on the Lions at all. So we just did a mock draft thing. I don't know if any of you guys saw. Last week, I did my own mock draft 1.0. I won't get into it here. You can go check out that video. It is on the channel. And like I said, it was just last week, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. you can check out who I got. I did the first 2 rounds. I didn't do any trades. I did it straight up. That'll be the spoiler. But you can go and see who I got there. Alrighty. We are moving on. Speaking of mock drafts, we were taking. Let me start this over. Mock drafts had us taking D lineman or edge in a lot of them with our first or second pick. So this week, I decided to rank my top 5 D linemen and / edge players, people who rush the quarterback, people who stop the run, D line / edge. I combined them, and this is my pre-combine one. But I'm no expert. This is just me watching tape and going over this. I already did my top 5 cornerbacks. You can find that on the channel as well. Well, these are my top 5 D line / edge players, and I'm gonna go counting them down from 5 to 1. So the first one, number 5, Lucas Van Ness out of Iowa. The guy is just a workhorse out there. He has a high motor, not the most athletic compared to the rest of them, but he's going to put his nose down, go to work, and he's going to get the job done. I do think he's a Dan Campbell style of player. I wouldn't mind seeing the Lions get him. A lot of people have us getting him at 18. If he drops to the second round, that'd be a good pick for me. All right. Number 4, Myles Murphy. Now, a lot of people have us getting him at 6, and there are 3 of these guys on the list going in front of him. I would not mind at all picking up Myles Murphy at 6. The guy's athletic. He's got length. He can play interior or on the edge. So, I think that's huge. I think it could be a day 1 starter for us and really make a difference for this team. So, I would not mind picking up Myles Murphy. That is number 4 on the list for me. Number 3, Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech. I personally hope we land this guy at 6. He's just a freak of nature. The guy's out there wrecking havoc almost every play. He's a big time body. He's going to get in there and make some big time plays for you. And I think him on the other side of Hutch, or I think he can even play interior as well. He's really going to help out this defense. Same as Myles Murphy. Day 1, you really could have gone either way with these guys. 4 and 3, Myles Murphy, Tyree Wilson. But I personally would like to see us draft Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech. A lot of mock drafts have him going at 5. A lot of them have him going at 6. I would like to have him drop to 6 if he's there. Pick him up. All right. The last 2 on this list come as no surprise, as they're on everybody's top list, and they're going in the top 3 in most every draft. At number 2, I have Jalen Carter out of Georgia. And at number 1, of course, out of Bama, is Will Anderson. Now, if any of those guys drop to us, which I don't think they will, I would draft either one of them with no hesitation over everybody else in the draft. Will Anderson first for me and Jalen Carter second. I think they can go out there day 1 just like the other guys, but I think they're going to be a little bit more effective. Will Anderson has been pro ready for a few years, so I would like to get him. I could also have thrown Brisset in there at 5 or, somebody else. But after watching some tape, I'm a little bit more impressed with Van Ness than Brisset. He's just more physical. Brisset's not that he's not. I just like Van Ness's style of play a little bit better. I'm also a little biased. I like Iowa. So there's that. But that's my top 5 D linemen / edge. You can go check out my top 5 corners. That's already on the channel. But that's my top 5 going into this draft. Of course, I could have broke it down just D-line, just edge. But, they're both rushing the quarterback. They're both on the line, both stopping the run. So I decided to combine them here. I do see that we have some more comments over here. So I'm going to check out to see what's going on. We'll get into that tight end talk here in a second. Yeah, do you think if Glenn gets us to a top 15 defense, he'll get a head coaching job? If so, Jay Bly, the next in line to be the defensive coordinator. Yes, I do think that if Glenn gets us a top 15 defense this year, maybe even top 10, I'd have to say, he's definitely getting a head coaching job next year because he's already been in interviews for a head coaching job in the previous years. And he's gotten second day interviews. He's gotten second interviews with these teams. So he's already almost landed a head coaching job with the way that that the defense is already. That just speaks volumes to him as a coach, how much he gets through to the players. Now, the defense was not good at all to start the season, and he turned it around. Could have been some issues there. We had another coach that we fired, Audrey Peters, but butchering his name. Anyways, maybe he had something to do with it. Maybe he was too soft on the players and letting them get away with too much, and we got to get rid of him. And then things turned around. But who knows? I do, though, think that Aaron Glenn will get a head coaching job if he gets us into the top 15 defense. Now, Dre Bly, I do not see becoming the next defensive coordinator, and only because I think there's other guys lined up ready for it. I wouldn't be mad if he was, but I think that, and gosh, I forget his name every single time, but he's our linebackers coach, and he's out there running around. He's young. He looks like he could still play. He's dreaded. Always forget his name. I'm so sorry. I got to look this up and just put it in the corner of my computer so I know it's there and I can say his name every time. But I think he would be a great defensive coordinating option. But you know what? That's not bad. Dre Bly could become the next one. I just know in college, he was admired by his players and whatnot, but the pass defense in North Carolina was ranked 70th, which isn't the best. I do think he's a good coach, though. And that's what they say. He just speaks to the players. They understand him. Still, the pass defense didn't rank as well, but it could be because of the players they got in North Carolina. But it's definitely not out of the picture. But I personally, the linebacker coach has been there a few more years. Give him the job first. Unless Dre Bly is just brilliant. Then of course, you got to hand it over. All right, here we go. Shepard, is that who you're talking about? Shepard, yes. Kelvin Shepard. See, we're on the same page. That's who we're talking about. Thank you. I would really think that he would be the better fit to start just because he's been there a few years. He knows these guys, and I think he's just a great mind. He wants to be out there on the field. You can tell. But yeah, Kelvin Shepard. That's who I think will get it. All right, we have 2 second-rounders, right? Yes, we have 2 second-round draft picks. We have the 48th and 55th, I believe. We need another bugs, not rushers. Running games destroyed us. We won against passing teams. Yeah, I agree. We need to. So I'd say we need to re-sign bugs. That's what I would do personally, and then go out and get another one to kind of for depth, and then also have him fill in the role when Bugs is gone. I did in my mock draft. I'll do a little spoiler with my 3rd pick overall, first second round pick. I got Ika out of Baylor, and he's an interior defensive lineman. He's a big boy. He kind of wreaks havoc out there on the running game. So, yeah, maybe address that through the draft or go get a guy in free agency if he's the right fit. What's up, Mary? How you doing, D? Yes. All right, guys. I'm going to get into another. Oh, here we go. No, this is a question right here. Yeah. If we get Ramsey, do we pass on Shark or Jamal? Well, yeah, I think that we do. And that brings me right into my next segment. I was going to do a little thing here just for fun, but now that's a serious question. I was going to do we re-sign Shark or Jamal if we're presented that situation? If we have to choose one or the other, Shark or Jamal, who do we go with? Who do you guys want to go with? Let me know in the comments right now. Would you rather re-sign DJ Shark or Jamal Williams? To me personally, it's no question to bring back Jamal Williams. The guy, and right there, I see Jamal. I think Shark is still a 50-50 at this point, but yeah, I like Jamal. He's earned it. He broke Barry Sanders' single-season rushing touchdown record, and I know he had an extra game to do so, but it says a lot. That's a big-time record to break. And first 1,000-yard rusher since Reggie Bush. The guy loves it here. He embraces the culture. He's a great teammate, great locker room guy, great player. I'd say we got to bring him back. No disrespect to Shark. This is just the scenario if it's him or the other. And, I think Shark is great. I would like to bring them both back. But if it's Jamal or Shark, I'm going Jamal all day. And I said earlier, Ben Johnson did say, and he was quoted saying this in an interview, he wants to make Jameson Williams an NFL superstar. So that means he's going to be a lot more involved in the offense next year. And that might mean Shark's already out the door, or he's going to be doing a lot less. Or maybe Reynolds does a lot less. I don't know. Somebody's going to be doing a lot less if J-Mo's going to be doing a lot more. But that's just how I feel about that. And if we bring in Ramsey, one of them's probably going to be going. Maybe not, though, because we could free up a lot of cap space this year. I've talked about this in previous ones, but if we cut Brockers, Vaitai, Charles Harris, and of course the controversial one that people don't want to cut, Romeo Okwara, we're going to free up a lot of money, and we could probably sign Shark, Jamal, and get Ramsey back. But somebody's going to be off the roster out of that, whether it be Isaiah Buggs, Comiskey, Alex Anzalone. I don't know. Somebody won't come back because of that. All right, I'm looking over here. Jamal, we all agree on that. He fixes the narrative about the Lions not taking care of their players. Need to sign Maul. You're right about that. We do, we got to prove, we got to go out there that we take care of our guys. He's a workhorse for this team. We got to change that whole narrative around, and people are going to want to come here even more than they already do right now. But if we go out there and reward our players for successful seasons, it's going to show that we really care about the guys. It's going to speak a lot about this organization, and people are going to want to come back. I completely agree with you there. All right. We're about done here on this episode. So if you have any more questions, please hop in and get them in now, and I will be sure to answer them today. Oh, we had a tight ends question up here. We had a tight ends question that I'll talk about real quick before we move on. When do we draft a tight end? Me personally, I don't like a tight end until the third round. I'm agreeing with John Peterson there. Because I think that there's going to be some good tight ends that drop there. I wouldn't mind getting Laporta from Iowa in the third round. We can even go, he might drop to the fourth. I don't think so, but maybe. But there's going to be some good tight ends that'll be there in the later rounds, third, fourth, or fifth. That's where I would go for a tight end. Not first 2 rounds, stay away from it. There's mock drafts out there that have us taking the guy from Notre Dame at 18, which is just absolutely crazy to me. I know TJ Hawkinson's gone, but look at our guys. They filled in just fine after he left. I mean, Brock Wright had a huge game against the Jets, that huge play to win us the game. Zylstra showed up big time. I don't think tight end is necessary in the first 2 rounds, especially. Third round, I would not mind going out and getting the tight end, though. All right. Let's see here. First time on the show. Hey, thank you, Jack Johnson. I don't know if that's the Jack Johnson, but yeah, to me, you are the Jack Johnson. I was also able to tune in. Quick question for you to do. All right. Yeah, cool, man. Let's see here. Do you see the Lions addressing a running back this offseason? We could. I don't think that we're going to re-sign Justin Jackson, our third string running back from last year. And I think that we might move on from Craig Reynolds. And I know that we got Jamar Jefferson as well that we drafted a few years ago. But, I think that we do. I think that we do bring in another running back, whether it be through the draft or we get another, small signing from like a Justin Jefferson from the Chargers last year. I think that's where we go. If we are going to go in the draft, I saw another mock draft. I think his name, Colton Pouncey. He's over here, and he's with the Athletic. He had us taking Bijan Robinson in 18. Now, that would be very interesting because he is a beast. And the guy, he looks like he's going to be a stud in the NFL. He would immediately go to be our RB1, I think, if we draft him. So if that's the case, then maybe we do move on from Jamal or Swift, one of the others, trade Swift maybe, and then we have Robinson and Jamal, or we just don't sign Jamal, and then we have Robinson and Swift. There's also the Alabama running back who has been falling to the second round, and I've seen a lot of guys mock draft him to the Lions. Now, I think that would be the better route. I don't think we should go running back in the first round. Bijan Robinson, he's a freak of nature. He might be the next best running back in the league. Who knows? But I would rather wait to draft a running back later, second round, if possibly. I don't have us drafting a running back in the second round. But if they are going to go and try to get a running back of the future, that's where I would go, the Alabama guy in the second round. Other than that, go out and get, another small signee like that Justin Jefferson guy. Or Justin Jackson, sorry, not Justin Jefferson. Yeah, let's go get Justin Jefferson. All right. Yeah, and we can also get an undrafted free agent tight end. I like that too. There's going to be some good ones out there. And we can re-sign, we have first dibs on Zylstra and Brock Wright, so we could bring those guys back too. They did just well. They did just fine. All righty. Let's see. Do you think Megatron will be our next wide receiving coach? I'm just going to get to everybody here real quick. I think that would be amazing if he could be. I think they need to make that happen. Now, I do like Antoine Randall L. I think he does a fine job, but maybe he can move up in the ranks and become a different coach for us. I don't know, but I want them to get the deal done with Megatron, or make everything good. Pay him what he needs to be paid. Get him back in the building. He could do wonders for this team. Him and Jamison Williams working together, both first-round picks, wide receivers. He could really help him out and, show him the way in this league. So, yes, I would love to see that happen. I don't know if that happened. All righty. Yeah, Zeke/Pollard, no on high-round draft picks. I agree there. You know what, guys? That is going to be it for me today. This was a fun episode. You guys kept me going the whole episode, and I just really appreciate all the comments here that we got. Please come back. I'm here every single Tuesday. Last week it was Wednesday. Of course, we had to switch it out due to the tragedy, but I'm here usually every single Tuesday. I'll be here next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Detroit time, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. out on the West Coast. I hope you all enjoy your day. Have a great day. Until next time, everybody. Peace.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!